Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Liberian Radio and Television Network. We're here with the founder and CEO of the Multicultural Family Services, Mrs. Portia Camara. Welcome. Thank you for having us, Mrs. Portia.
Um, Thank you and welcome to Multicultural Community Family Services.
Now, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. First of all, what is the Multicultural Family Services, and what do you guys do? Give me a little bit of a history and a background of you guys.
Well, the Multicultural Community Family Services was founded in 2003 in response to supporting immigrants, predominantly African immigrants who were um, resettling within the greater Philadelphia area
Mm-hmm.
as a result of the Liberian Civil War, as well as civil wars within the region, Sierra Leone, the Ivory Coast. And when they came, there were many needs, and they needed to be supported. And we found at the time that traditional service providers were not equipped uh, to meet those needs
Mm-hmm.
because of significant barriers having to do with language and other cultural nuances.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of that, our organization was founded. Uh, Multicultural was founded by African immigrants. Um, our strengths included knowing our people, um, having lived experiences, being born and raised in Africa, and having the professional expertise to serve the population that was coming in. And we are here to continue to do that work, or continuing that work 17 years later.
That's great. So, say the average Liberian came to your office and needed help. What kind of services could I come into today to get help with? Like, do you guys help with starting businesses and or getting in contact with lawyers and stuff like that?
An Irish Liberian or an African or an immigrant, preferably, which is what we'd like to say. When we started Multicultural, when it was founded, our uh, primary purpose was to support Liberians who were resettling out of from war, resettling here as a result of war. We have since expanded or increased our capacity to serve anyone who walks through our doors, because we realized through the years, many years of doing this work, that the human need is the human need, the human condition is the human condition, and it transcends all boundaries, continents, countries, language.
Mm-hmm.
When a person has a need, a person has a need. And so multicultural's approach is to serve all in need. And so when an individual enters our door or comes to us accessing services, we make an effort to provide those services. And when we cannot provide those services, we are then able to provide them with information about resources in the community that can support what the needs are, as well as direct them to where those resources are. For those with whom we are able to support, and there are many, our services range from immigration support, where we provide or support families to complete applications for green cards, or applications for citizenship, or for individuals who already have the permanent residence and have submitted the application for the citizenship and they need to get prepared to take the test. We do citizenship preparation classes. Services also include literacy support services for individuals who are coming in and may never have had an informal education but want to um, become re-engaged with the workforce and may need some basic skills. We support them with that, just being able to uh, read and write basic English, being able to have conversations in English, being able to know their home address or write, say out the telephone number or write it down. We provide supports as well to youth in the area of youth soccer. We've had a youth soccer program since 2004 that serves about 160 kids and their families every year. And the age range is from 4 to 14. So we have, I believe, up to U14 in, in soccer where we work with kids. We also provide a job readiness program for our young people, for those youth who between the ages of 18 to 24 have become disengaged from high school for whatever reason. They did not complete high school and are looking again to re-enter the workforce or just the working world. We support them with getting their GED or attaining a customer service certification, as well as helping them to transition to area institutions of higher learning, be it a trade school or a college. We also work with them to find employment and provide additional supports as needed. Additionally, we provide counseling support to families. There are many families that have challenges within the home, and multicultural can be a place that they can come and find the supports that they need. In addition to that, we are also at Multicultural a licensed home care agency, and so we serve seniors throughout the greater Philadelphia area. We provide them with personal home care services where we go into homes and we assist with personal care, bathing and grooming, meal preps, laundry, errands. As in addition to working with seniors, we work with individuals who are physically or intellectually disabled and need some supports in the community or at home. And we are available 24 hours a day and have been doing that work at Multicultural since 2010. And lastly, one of the services that we're very proud of, we're recently, within the last 2 years, 2 3 years that we've started to provide is in the area of professional development. Through our professional development division, we are supporting organizations and businesses around the area of racial and social justice, cultural competence, and we are, as well as conflict resolution. And those services include workshops and seminars, and as well as presentations that we do at conferences. And so we're very proud of the work that we do here, and we'd love to have people know about that. Our services are, for the most part, free. They're mostly grant funded, and for those services that are not, we ask for a minimum contribution from individuals or families who are accessing those services.
Seems like you guys here at Multicultural are very multifaceted. You guys are very entrenched in the community. How has coronavirus affected how you interact with the community?
I think, as with the whole world, as we know, the corona or COVID-19 has changed the world as we once knew it, and I think every business, organization, nonprofit, for-profit, every home has been impacted by COVID. I think for us at Multicultural, it's impacted us personally. We did end up losing a staff to COVID-19, sadly, and we've had a few of our members who tested positive for COVID-19, our home care staff. We are very pleased to report that they went through the self-quarantine. They have rebounded, and they are back in the field and working. And we're very thankful and very proud of their resilience to beat COVID-19. In terms of how it has affected our work, it certainly has made us to perhaps more than ever be more conscious of safety. Um, and it allowed us, thankfully, to early on to take the necessary safety measures to ensure that our staff going into home, our home care workers that were going into home, were safe, and that our participants that they serve, our seniors, were also safe. And so we were fortunate to have received funding from the Philadelphia Foundation through the Phil COVID-19 Fund to purchase PPE for our staff. And so we were able to get gloves and masks and hand sanitizers, um, plastic coverings, as well as disinfectants and among others. And we were able to distribute that to our staff, and still do actually on a weekly basis. So as you can see, I have my mask on. It is difficult to talk with the mask, so I have it on the side. But here at Multicultural, every employee, it is required, mandatory, that they keep a mask on now, as we are in the the yellow phase, and even when we go into the green phase. But we have to wear a mask. Employees are required to sanitize their areas every day when they come in, or at the end of the workday when they leave out, so that when they come in the morning, they have those, the area is clean and sanitized. When we are out in the community and serving the community, one of the things that we do is food distribution to seniors. We are, it's not mandatory to put gloves on when you're serving a food box, but they are encouraged to do so as well. Here we practice social distancing. We really emphasize 6 feet at Multicultural because we know that a combination of wearing a mask and social distancing, 6 feet go a long way to reducing, if not preventing, the spread of COVID. And so it has made us more aware of those things, being mindful that the health of one person depends on the health of the other. And so we've taken a very unified approach to that. We've limited access to the community, clients or participants when they come in. So we have a barrier, and you will see through our main entrance way, we have a desk that is put there to prevent access. And so on, our employees, for the most part, come in to the building or into our offices. And for the common area, when clients do come in because they want to use our computers to check on their unemployment application, or maybe to complete their census, which one of the things we do here as well. They come in, they have to wear the mask, and we also ask them to put gloves on. So those are the ways that it has impacted us at Multicultural. We have always been known as very relational and family oriented, always embracing of each other, and we now have to be mindful that we can't do those things as we once did. So it has allowed us, as I said, more so to put safety first than anything else.
Now, on top of everything else that's been going on in this year 2020 is the year of the census. What exactly is the census, and why is it important that people actually complete this?
Wow, what is the census? That is the question. Despite the enormous education that is being done in the public right now, we are finding through our work that there are so many individuals out there who still do not know what the census is. And so one of the simplest way that we, when we are providing that information or answering that, we tell people that ask, the census is, and this is the most simplistic way that we try to explain it, is something that the United States government does once every 10 years. And that something is called the count. The census count is where the United States government counts every person living in the United States, regardless of where they are. As far removed as the farthest village or town in Alaska to the largest town in California, or the largest city in California. And it's called the decennial census, meaning it takes place every 10 years. And babies are counted, seniors are counted, or as we say in Liberia, old people are counted, the young people are counted, everyone else in between. And why is that important? It's important because the government wants to know, one, how many people reside in the United States, right? Two, the census determines how much federal dollars go to states. So if there are less people counted in a state, less federal funding or less federal dollars go to that state. If there are more people counted in that state, more federal dollars go to that state. So, for example, Pennsylvania has about 13.5 million people. Let's assume that all 13.5 million people get counted. That will give Pennsylvania a minimum of $2,000 per person over 10 years, because the census is every 10 years. So you do the math. 2,000 times 13.5 million. A lot of money that Pennsylvania would get every 10 years. Let's say out of that 13.5 million, only 5 million gets counted. Pennsylvania would end up losing so much money. Why is the money important? The money is important because that money is what supports many of the social programs, the economic programs, the health programs that people need, that they must have in order to be sustaining in terms of their own health. And when I think about health, I'm not just thinking primary health, right? So if less money comes to Pennsylvania, for example, that means that the state will have less money to spend on CHIP. Now, CHIP is the health insurance program for young children whose parents cannot afford health insurance. So without enough money coming for CHIP, that means less children are going to be insured. So it affects women and children, pregnant women who must rely on WIC, women, infant, and children, the subsidy that helps them to get rich, nutritious food to sustain themselves and the babies. Well, if less money comes to Pennsylvania, that means there's less money for WIC. So instead of 1 million or 10 million people being on WIC, or however numbers there are will be on WIC, less people now will qualify to be on WIC because the money is not available. It will also mean less money for police and fire safety, meaning the police and the fire trucks or firemen would not be able to do the job to rush to us when we need to be protected, because there is not enough funding for that. It also will mean that seniors, many of them that qualified to receive in-home services such as the personal care home services that I talk about, they will not be able to, because that becomes less money for Medicaid, which is the state insurance that pays or supports poor people or people in need when they are sick. For example, people without employment, without work, and have a health problem can go on the state insurance, what that is known as Medicaid. So the census impacts all of those things. For young parents who are looking for daycare, many would not be able to get daycare because there would be less money for states. So when we complete the census online, we are bringing money to make possible those services taking place. That's one of the most critical way. Another way that the census impacts us and why it is important is that the state's representation in Congress depends on how many people live in that state.
Right.
So if less people in Pennsylvania or within our district, your district, my district, less people are completing the census, that means what? We may be denied representation in Congress. Well, we know if we do not have a voice in Congress to talk in our behalf, guess what happens? No benefits come to us. Issues that impact us will not matter before Congress. The Liberian Refugee and Fairness Act that today has allowed hundreds of thousands of Liberians to benefit from getting the green card, or that were allowed to benefit as far as getting the green card, that would not have taken place if they did not have the kind of representation in Congress that would have advocated for that to happen. So the census matters, and that's why we are encouraging everyone to complete the census. And it only takes one person per household. When the government counts everyone in the United States, the government is counting households. So it takes one person to complete the census for their household. The more of us that complete the census, we bring more money into our state. You bring more money into Pennsylvania, and I bring more money into Pennsylvania. The more money we have, the better equipped we are able to meet the socio-economic safety and health needs of our community. And when we can do that, we are contributing to improving community health. One of the things multicultural has really begun to really focus on is how can we improve the health of the community. What is community health? Community health is improving the lives of people. When I have a job, I can get money and I can take care of the needs of my family. That keeps me emotionally healthy, mentally healthy. It keeps my family healthy because now their needs are being met. When someone who goes through our program gets their GED and can go to college, they are now better equipped to find jobs once they graduate from college. That keeps them healthy. That enables them to take care of themselves. When someone comes into our office and they're applying, need support in applying for the green card, and they get that green card, that's community health, because now with the green card, it opens the door to so many things. Additionally, when a kid who is playing soccer is out there on the field and he's running, he's kicking the ball, that's community health, because through that ball, he's what? He's improving his physical self so that he is able to grow into a healthy child. So everything that multicultural does here, more and more, we're beginning to look at those things through the lenses of community health.
Okay, so with all that said, thank you so much for being with us. How can people get in contact with you if they need more help, they want to talk to you? Tell them where you're located and how we can get in contact with you.
Anyone who is looking for services and think that multicultural can be that support, it can be the conduit through which they can benefit from those services, I want to say to them that we are located in Upper Darby. Our address is 7016 Terminal Square, Suite 3A. We are literally located within the business district of Upper Darby, not very far from the train station, the Frankfurt L train station, or not Frankfurt, the 69th Street train station in Upper Darby. Our hours of operations are Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. And if they want to reach us by telephone, our number is 484-461-8660. And our goal really is how can we improve the social determinants of health of the community. And if we can do that, we would have done our job. And we are hoping to continue to do so, one resident at a time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mrs. Portia Camara, founder and CEO of the Multicultural Family Services. It was a pleasure interviewing you today.
Thank you.